Last week, I had a secondary medical scan, and before the results even came back, I had already decided I'm still going to figure out how to full-time travel come February, no matter what it says. Because here's what I've learned: retirement really isn't about the money, it's about your mindset. So here are the 6 mindset shifts I'm making right now, not someday, to actually enjoy my retirement. And I want to be upfront. I am not a retirement expert handing down advice from a mountaintop. So these are the shifts that I'm personally working on. So I've made peace with some I'm still negotiating. So let's get into it and stick around for number 5, because that's the one I almost couldn't say out loud. The first shift was so big it got its own video, so I'll keep it short here. For over 10 years, I was a federal employee. My title told people who I was, and the day I retired, that title, it all went away. It's a strange feeling. I had to learn that I am not my job. I'm a traveler, I'm a wife, I'm a storyteller. The shift here is simple, but it's not easy. You have to build an identity that isn't handed to you by a workplace. If you want the full story on that one, I'll put a link up above. The second shift, for most of our lives, we measured progress by what we accumulated: the bigger house, the new car, the full closet, the 3-car garage you can't actually park a car in. When we decided to travel full time, we decided to let almost all of it go. And I'll be honest, I thought it would feel like a loss. But here's the reality. Every box we gave away made me feel lighter, physically and mentally. What I'm working on now is actually being more intentional. I'm learning to spend money on quality experiences and the few things that truly bring me joy, and to let go of the stuff that can be easily replaced. The things were never the point. The room they were taking up was. This one's hard for me. I spent a whole career stressed out and stretched thin, and somewhere along the way, I became someone who needs the plan to go exactly right. A canceled flight could ruin my day, even a wrong turn. And here's the thing: when you travel full time, things will go wrong constantly. Missed connections, getting sick on the road, plans falling apart. If I white knuckle every one of those, I will be miserable. And honestly, so will Steve. So I'm practicing now, even in how I react with him over the small things, being more open, less set in my ways, because I'm realizing patience on the road doesn't just protect our trip, it protects our marriage. The detour isn't the thing running the adventure. A lot of the time, the detour is the adventure. It's in those unplanned moments that memories can be made. And I hope I'll be able to come out on the other side with laughter and some great stories to tell. Real quick, if you're somewhere on this same journey, figuring out your own version of this, that's who this channel is for. We call you the Someday Chasers. Hit that subscribe button and come along. It genuinely helps us more than you know. Okay, back to it. And the next 3 are the ones I really struggle with. I spent my entire adult life in save mode. Save for the house, save for retirement, save, save, save. And now that I'm here, I genuinely struggle to let myself spend. It's not as easy as just flipping off a switch. When we were considering moving to Thailand, we could absolutely afford a beautiful condo. But I hated the idea of spending that much money on rent. And it took me a while to realize it wasn't really about the money. I was afraid that committing to a place would tie me down mentally. Like, we paid for it, now we have to stay here. So the shift I'm making is from I must save to I can spend on the things I can't get back. So this year we booked an Antarctica cruise, and it's a huge chunk of money. We have never ever spent that kind of money on a single trip. The Galapagos cruise was about half that, and that already felt enormous. It's not a small decision, but I'm choosing to see that money differently now. For 30 years, saving protected my future. Spending it now on the right things protects a window, and that window will not stay open forever. Which brings me to number 5. The one I almost couldn't say out loud. I have a fear. My father died young. My oldest brother died young. My stepfather passed away soon after he retired. He barely got to enjoy it. So somewhere deep down, I carry this fear too, that I won't get to enjoy my retirement, that my body will have other plans. I told you about the secondary scan this past week. Before I even had the results, my mind went straight to the worst case scenario, that I'd waited too long, that this was it. But it came back clear. But you know what struck me? In that moment, I wasn't bargaining to cancel our trips. I was already trying to figure out how I would go to Antarctica anyway. That's when it really hit me. We let go of the plan to settle down in Bangkok, and we made a decision. If we're going to see the world, we do the hardest and most physical things first, while our bodies are still saying yes. Not someday, now. There are no guarantees in life, so we're not budgeting our happiness in year one. We're spending it like the clock is real, because in my family, for some, it has been. Okay, last one, and this one's gonna be lighter, I swear. But it is still a struggle for me. I love learning new things, starting this channel, teaching myself to edit, learning to tell a story. I love all of that. What I hate is the beginner phase, not being perfect from the get-go, feeling like a failure. I'll be honest, Steve and I are not seasoned world travelers. His family travels extensively all the time, and they have asked us over the years, like, why aren't you traveling more? Well, now we will be, but we are going to be making rookie mistakes. We're going to feel unsure even when things are going right. So the final shift is giving myself permission to be a beginner again. Do it poorly, do it scared, because waiting until I feel ready means waiting forever. And honestly, I think about us years from now, sitting in our recliners, watching these videos, and I want us to look back and laugh and say, look how young we were. That's the whole point. We'd rather do it scared and young-ish instead of waiting. Tell me in the comments, which of these 6 are you wrestling with right now? Or is there a different mindset shift that you're focusing on that I didn't cover? So those are the 6 shifts I'm working on. I haven't perfected a single one of them, but that's kind of the whole point of this channel. We're not there yet. If you're interested in early retirement, slow travel, and just figuring out what comes next after a career ends, hit that subscribe button and follow along. We're making plenty of mistakes as we go, but maybe together we can be a little better prepared. So thanks for watching Someday Chasers. See you in the next adventure. Okay, I'm just gonna completely start over. My goodness, Cindy. Blah, blah, blah.